Sauce family, welcome to another episode of Cooking with Angel Wing Sauce. I'm back, you guys. It's been a minute. I missed you all, but I am back and I have an amazing show for you guys today. I'm switching up the vibe a little bit on my cooking show today. So yes, I still cook the dish, you guys, and you can go. I'm gonna post the video on how I made this dish today on Angel Wing Sauce page. You can go look at the video on how I made it. I made chili today, you guys. I know you say why chili, because it's hot, but that was requested in my house today, so that's what I made. Hold for a second, you guys. I gotta check my lighting. Just a moment. All right, thank you so much. I'm so sorry. I wanted to make sure the lighting was correct. So yes, I made a dish, chili. I know it's hot, but it was requested in my household, so that's what I made. And I'm gonna finish plating it for you guys so you can see the finished product. Just one moment. Okay. And yes, it's nothing major. I cooked this chili in my crock pot. And I cooked it for 2 hours. Like I said, the video will be on so you guys can see how I actually made the whole dish. And I'm just going to plate it for you guys. I chopped up some green onions to put on top to garnish with the cheese and the sour cream. That's how we like to eat it down here. So just gonna put a little cheese on top. Put some sour cream. Yes, I'm doing it with a fork, guys. As long as it gets up here. And these green onions that I chopped, okay? So this is a beautiful dish, easy to make. If you have a big family, it feeds a lot. And it's just an amazing, amazing dish. I really did this. I got a couple of these toasted Ritz cracker chips that I'm just gonna garnish on the plate. Sometimes I like to dip it in the chili. And gonna make it look nice and pretty. And yes, you guys, this is the dish I made. So it's chili, nothing major. I made it in the crock pot. I got some chopped onions up there, sour cream, and cheese. And we probably will talk about this dish a little bit later. But I do want to let you guys know tonight, it's a little different. I have a special guest coming on Cooking with Angel Wing Sauce. And I'm so excited to talk to her. I'm nervous, y'all. I don't know why I'm nervous, but I'm nervous. And so, yes, this is Chef Dorian. She was the season 10 winner on Masterchef. She is the first African-American woman that won the show, you guys. And I'm here talking to her. She is the queen. She is everything. You know, she did the dang on thing. So she's going to be coming on to talk with us tonight. So I'm going to set the ambiance like we always do on Angel Wing Sauce. Now, Angel Wing Sauce has its own candles. Now, you guys, because you know in the cooking show, I like to light a candle before I cook. So you guys go over to angelwingsauce.com and cop you an Angel Wing Sauce candle. It smells just like Angel Wing Sauce. And that aroma will be in your house. So we're going to get started. Let me light Angel Wing Sauce candle. Be sure to go over and get you guys one. Okay, we'll put it right here. And without further ado, we're gonna go on and bring our guest. Chef Dorian, are you in the building? Yes, you are. Hi, thank you. Oh, you say you can't hear me. Can you guys hear me? Let me know if you can hear me, Chef Dorian, and let me know if you can hear me, Jay Bondo. Thank you for joining. Can you hear me? Because I may have to start this all over. I want to make sure you guys can hear the show tonight. Okay, you can hear. All right, great. So I'm going to bring Chef Dorian on just a moment. All right. Okay, good. I'm glad you can hear. Hey, what up, Jay Bondo? How you doing? Thank you for joining the show tonight. Chef Dorian, how you doing?
Yeah.
Great. Thank you for stopping by. Glad to have you come on and stop by today and think about little old Angel Wing sauce. We really appreciate it. Before we get started, I have something for you.
Okay.
Now, I know I couldn't give it to you in person, but virtually, this is what I'm doing here. Do you see it?
Thank you very much.
Congratulations, honey. I know that Angel Wing Sauce could not tell you personally at that time, but I don't want you to ever downgrade what you accomplished. You are a queen. You did that thing. I don't know why it took 10 seasons for them to give a black lady this thing here, but God left that slot for you.
Thank you.
And we over here, Angel Wing Sauce, we want to congratulate you and we give you your flowers.
Thank you. That is so sweet.
I
love it. I love
So I'm
it.
gonna get started. I'm gonna move this here so I can kind of focus in on you and pay a little bit more attention. So let me just go get a chair real quick. Let me see if this will do a little bit better. Just one moment. All right. Can you see me? Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
All right, Chef Dorian. So, you know, my daughter did this. She's a big fan of Masterchef, and she put this together as a Mother's Day gift, and because she wanted to help my cooking show, so she did that. And yeah,
anything, and I know my time has been all over the place, so you know it's been hard to kind of schedule it. We you know, when you're doing something like this, you have downtime, and then when it goes, it just goes. Like
I know.
It's crazy.
I'm a busy lady myself. So I know how it goes. So that's
for my schedule not, you know, making it easy, because normally we get these requests and we're able to knock them out, but we just got slammed, and it was just timing is everything. So I'm happy to be able to support your endeavor. Like, we're pretty much in the same boat. Like, I have my blog, you know, Chef Dorian Presents What You Bring Into the Party, almost about the same thing, right? Like, it is we got to support each other at the end of the day. Have to.
I'm humbled to have you here. I can't believe it. I mean, I'm very humbled. You've accomplished a lot in the food world. You are to be praised. And so I'm very humble. And we thank you here at Angel Wing Sauce. My daughter sends her love. She had to do a fashion show, Juneteenth fashion show, but she wanted to be here. She sends her love, and she thanks you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So I don't know how you want to start. We didn't really get the logistics on the show, so I know you got some Angel Wing sauce.
I did. Let me tell you, I got this sauce. I did get the sauce, and I love it. First of all, I love spicy. Like the hotter the better. But my family, they would have died. They would have died. But let me tell you what I do when I tasted it. I was like, oh, this is a good finishing sauce for greens, marinated tomatoes, Brussels. I love boiled Brussels sprouts or steamed Brussels sprouts, and I would definitely put in that. I did put a little bit. I got red beans and rice going on my stove, and I put a little bit in there for some extra kick in the back. So it's definitely, for me and my family, I have to use it as an add-on. Let them, you know, monitor how much they want to use. But I can this is a good barbecue sauce starter. If I'm from up north, So
Okay.
I love open pit, and that's very spicy to my
Yeah.
family. But this will definitely do that. So I love the hot sauce. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you. And we're
It's
so glad
everything
it's
I
able to
like.
be
It's
in your
spicy,
kitchen.
and it's not so spicy to where you can't enjoy the flavor of it. It's just,
Yeah.
you know, you have an underlying spice.
Yeah.
So I really do like that. So thank you very much.
No, thank you. Yes, and I'm glad it's in your kitchen. Look, we hit legendary status here. Angel Wing Sauce made it to Chef Dorian's kitchen.
Most
So we're excited and
definitely.
we're glad that you like the sauce more than anything. So how did you want to do it? I know you cooked. I know I talked to my daughter. She was giving me tidbits on how we wanted to structure the show. I know you made a dish with the angel wing sauce. So did you want to talk about that first before we got into? Because you know I got some
So
questions for you today. I
what
got
I
to.
did was I just added it to my red beans and rice instead of
Okay.
adding my normal Creole seasoning. I got it a little more spicy. You really taste it on the back end. Hold on, I got a big pot of it because I'm
Okay.
saving it. Red beans
Okay.
and rice is something you share. You don't just.
I, that's what I got to talk to you about early. That's crazy how you said that because I got to talk to you.
Yeah, you share it. So this is my pot. You can see that there. Put it over here. This is the red beans. I'm bringing it back.
Oh, that looks delicious.
Yeah, so
It
what
looks like you
I
made it New Orleans style
yes,
with the
yes,
roux.
I did. Yes, I did. So what I put in here is we started off with onions and peppers and sauteed those with our sausage. And then I added a little bit of the sauce as the beans were cooking because I didn't want that flavor to separate. I believe in cooking in layers, right? Like every
Yeah.
time you add something, you need to season and spice it. Season or spice it. So while the beans were cooking, I added a little bit of the sauce. At the end, I added any salt or pepper that it needed because the sauce pretty much took care of all of that. You know,
Okay.
it
Okay.
didn't really need too much after the sausage and this sauce. You didn't need too much more, salt and pepper because of the peppery taste in the sauce, and it also has a nice finish of salt. So I don't because I got the sausage in here. We didn't need too much of anything else after the sauce. So yeah, so that's what
Okay.
I made.
So
You
did you
made
use?
chili.
So
I made red
you
beans and rice.
okay? Great, and that's great to know it can be used on that dish. That is super creative.
Yeah.
Now, you didn't use a lot? Did you use a lot of angel wing sauce? Because it looks like you have some left. So did you use
Right.
a lot,
No,
or was it just
no, because remember my family don't like major spice, so I couldn't
okay?
add a whole bunch. But you do get that spice. I used about 3 or 4 tablespoons of it. It was a lot in here. It was filled up to the top of the
Yeah,
jar.
yeah. It's 8 ounces.
Yeah. So that's what I use. Almost the same way as if like you made chili. Almost about the same way. I don't know how you make your chili, but about the same way anyway. Just red beans and rice.
Okay, great. So I can go into that a little bit on how I made the chili. Like I said, I made a video, and it'll show the steps that I took. But for this chili that I made today, I just did. I'm gonna go ahead and share my secret.
Okay.
So I'm gonna so for people that didn't see it, here we go.
Nice.
I did beef chili today. I did the beef. I added some Italian sausage chopped up in the ground beef because that gives it flavor without you having to add a bunch of seasoning. I did the ground beef and I did some peppers and onions and cooked it with the ground beef. Added the tomato sauce, tomato paste, some angel wing sauce, of course. I think I did some diced tomatoes and my seasonings. I put brown sugar, onion powder, salt, pepper, some slap your mama seasoning. And after that I just put it in my slow cooker, Chef Dorian, for 2 hours and let it marinate, and that's what we have today. So yeah, it wasn't much. It was an easy dish just to feed a lot of family, and it was
Chili
something quick.
chili is my favorite dish.
And that's my daughter was like, "Mom, I need a pot of chili." I'm like, "It's summertime." She's like, "I want chili." So I'm like, "Hey, we unorthodox around here." So
My mom used to make chili, and I can eat it. There's no set time for chili.
yeah,
You can make
right.
it anytime during the year. Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I guess we'll go right into it because I don't want to hold you. I know you're a busy lady.
Okay.
And so I just want to pick your brain and talk to you about some things. You were the season 10 winner of Masterchef. So I know that because I watched a couple episodes with my daughter. She was super excited about you know, going up in the ranks. She's the one that got me onto MasterChef. And so you hit right around the time 2019 when COVID was kind of coming in. Can you tell, for one, before we start on that, can you tell us a little about your experience? I just want to know what drove you to go so hard, because you were really cooking them dishes. You was putting heart and soul into those dishes. I mean, Chef Ramsay, you know, he's a hard nut to crack, and he was incredible. What drove you? What inspired you?
For me personally, I went on to the show because um, I was in a really tough space mentally. Like mental health is a thing, and like caring for your mental health is a thing. And I know it seems crazy to put yourself on a worldwide stage when you're in a slight depression, pretty much, right? Like that's crazy because
Wow.
on the show you get scrutinized or whatever. But at the same time, the show was my last ditch effort because I've been cooking for years and people knew me as a baker. They knew that I could bake, but they didn't know the savory side of me, right? They didn't know that. And that was the place that I really wanted to be. I wanted to be, to me, being a baker is great. Like, that's great. But I bake because I tell anybody, I bake because it makes me good money. Like, my passion, my love is for the cooking side of being a chef. I've been afforded the ability to do both. I don't have to choose which one I want to do. A lot of people, they can bake a cake and that's their thing, or they can make a pie and that's their thing. I've been given the gift of baking. There's very little that I can't bake, and there's very little that I can't cook. And I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm just saying my father was a baker. My mother was a very good cook. So I grew up in a house where I was exposed to both. And because I wanted to cook so much, I have been trying to get out there and trying and, you know, doing, you know, pretty much giving food away and trying to get people to see me as this chef that I knew that I was. I was trained. You know, I went to school, I got an education, I did everything and still couldn't do it. And my mom passed away. And that just made the dive even deeper. You know what I mean? Like, you got to adjust and you got to try to figure out your new normal without this person in your life and your whole. I come from a very big family. So when you lose somebody like that, every aspect of your life has to be restructured. You know, my siblings had to figure out who's going to be that person we go to, who's going to be that person, you know, that's going to love on us, who's going to be, you know, how do we figure this thing out? And I was like, okay, my sister-in-law told me that she would tell me every year, MasterChef is coming to Atlanta, you know, you need to go audition. And I'm like, no, I'm too old now. You know, I'm thinking this is a young person show. It's not really for somebody my age. And at that time I was on like 35 when she first started telling me. And I'm like, nah. So I put it off for a while. Then this last time she told me, and I told my husband about it, and he was like, well, go do it. And I'm like, nah, I don't think so. And it was the night before auditions. I called my husband, and a friend of ours had talked to me. He said, Dorian, if you don't do nothing else, why don't you just go? If you don't make it on the show, then just spend some time in Atlanta, downtown. Take some time for yourself. We'll take care of the kids, and, you know, you don't have to worry about nothing, but you need to get out this house and get some fresh air. So I called my husband that night. I had stalled. And I don't know if you've ever had this with God, but I had a tantrum in my car. I had a tantrum in my car with God. And I honestly, I know God was in heaven like, girl, if you do not shut up. I mean, I went off because I'm like, I'm doing everything right. Like, I'm doing everything right. And I just feel like this feeling that I'm feeling is getting deeper and deeper. Like, I'm having a hard time getting up out of bed. I'm having a hard time wanting to take the kids to school. Like, I can't function like this. I'm just not really living. I'm just going through the motions, right, for the most part. So while I was in my car, I yelled, I screamed, to the point to where I think God was like, okay, I'm gonna make you pass out. Like, I'm tired of hearing you, and I'm just gonna let you sleep for a minute. And I woke up.
Sometimes you gotta do it. You gotta do it. You gotta let it out.
I had to get it out. And I woke up, and I could hear something. I could hear God say, "Are you done?" And I was so angry. So I was like, "No, I'm not." And I did it again. I went off on a rant again. And then after the second time I woke up, he was like, "I've given you all the tools." And at that time, I had the application. I just didn't fill it out. He said, "Just fill out the application. I got the rest."
Girl, you about to make me cry. It's like,
I promise you. And I called my husband and he said, "Dorian, go. Just go. Give yourself a chance. If it don't work, what are you losing? Like, just go." And I went, and I was the very first person in the room. The very first. And let me tell you how the enemy will work. I called my siblings, and it was dark in the room. The lady said, "You can come in here," because I was at the art institute. She's like, "We don't want you sitting outside by yourself because it's not safe." She said, "But I can't turn the lights on because if other people come, then they gonna want to come in." She said, "So you're gonna have to sit in the dark." And I said, "Okay, no problem." So I went and I sat in the dark in the Art Institute in Atlanta, and I was looking around, and something was telling me, "Get up and go home. This ain't for you. Get up and go home. You're not going, this is crazy. Like, just, this ain't it. Go home." And I was like, "Nah, I'm gonna stick it out." And then it was like, "No, this ain't for you." But then by that time, people had start coming in. And have you ever been in a place where the room is big, but you feel so tiny? After people come in, you feel like people closing in on you. And then all I had was a backpack. This is how I know God will always give you enough. He will always, no matter what you see it as, it's always going to be enough. And I had this backpack. It had 3 little Tupperware containers in it. One had salmon Wellington in it. One had a herb rice, and one had my sauce that goes on the dish. That's all I had. When I tell you, people were coming in with double coolers and all of these big, things. And I'm thinking, all I got is a backpack. Like, what? I must have missed it on the paper. Like, what am I missing? I go in, I fill out the paper, I do everything. I told my husband, I said, "I'm coming home. I'm not doing it." He said, "If you leave there, you can't go home." He said, "If you leave there, don't go home. You stay in Atlanta and take care of yourself. Don't worry about the kids. They got them, whatever." So my siblings started to call me because at this time I was using Facebook to kind of journal my journey during this thing. And my siblings was like, "No, you ain't going home. No, like, you staying. Like, why would you go home? Like, you're already there." So they kind of talked me into staying, and I went through the process and never, ever, ever, ever intended to even get past the audition. Never. And then when I did, man, my husband had those really hard conversations. What does this mean for us if you get on the show? How are we going to maneuver you not working? How are we going to maneuver the kids if you have to go away? And it's, things worked out without us putting our hands in it. God honestly worked it all out. People stepped in.
You'll do it.
Every time. But the thing that I tell people now that I'm on this side of it is, even at your lowest, there is something in you that just you got to find that little bit of fight. There's something in you that you can conjure up. It's mustard seed faith. Call it whatever you want to. But if you can grasp hold of that, God can work with that. He can work with that little bit that you have in you, but you have to do the work. I had to stay. I had to fill out the application. I had to trust that everything was going to be okay no matter what the outcome was, because I didn't know we don't know what's going to happen. Now I can look back on it, and I'm like, wow, that happened. Or, okay, why didn't I see that in the moment? Because God really don't want us to see that.
Amen.
Just walk it. Just walk it out.
Amen.
Just let it be. So I go on the show. I go to the auditions. There's a long drawn out, before you actually get on camera. And the rest is history. It's funny because my husband would say, all you got to do is get on camera. That's all you have to do, Dorian. He said, because you're able to really sell yourself and your food speaks for itself. So if you can just get on camera, you're good. People will see you, and that's what will be. So we went from that to, okay, now that you're on camera, all we need for you to do is make top 20. If you make top 20, and it went all the way down to like, okay, you still at home because you don't get to talk to your family. You only get to talk to them maybe 3 or 4 times during the taping. And every time I would talk to him, he'll say, well, you still there. And if my recollection is right, you know, you're here. You couldn't say yes or no to any of it. But he was like, okay, I just need for you to, he said, make it to top 5. And then after top 5, you've been on camera long enough. You can come home. Like, you can fudge it and just come home. But it's something in you that's like, yeah, I'm tired. I don't want to do it no more. I'm ready to go home. I miss my kids. I'm ready to go back to my life. But then you look at that trophy and you like, yeah, I think I'm going to stay another day.
And that grand prize.
Right. But for me, to be honest, for me, it was a trophy. I had never won a trophy before. Never in my life have I won a trophy or a ribbon or anything. And to be able to be with chefs who have, and to meet chefs who you look up to, like Gordon Ramsay. I told my husband before any of this, I said, you know, I love Gordon Ramsay.
Love Gordon Ramsay.
Man,
Shout out Gordon Ramsay.
Dude, and my husband told him this. I said, you know, Gordon Ramsay is really me as dad. Like,
I'm telling you.
Like, he's really my baby daddy.
I love Gordon too,
I've watched him for years.
Yeah.
I've watched him. I've grown up in my field watching him and watching how he moves and how controversy don't really fall on him like that. People try, but he's been blessed to be able to have an amazing team that kind of shields him from that. So I admire that. And not only that, I know people see him as this really rough, hard person, but in honesty, he is soft as drugstore cotton. Like, he is very sweet, very nice. Yes, he's a very nice man. But he loves his brand. I will say that. He will protect his brand at all costs. So when you see him acting out, I mean, I don't want nobody messing up my food either. Like, I don't know if I would act like that, but I mean, that's who he has branded himself to be. And I feel like that, for me, to me, he's bigger than life anyway, even now. Like, it was the end of the taping, and people would know that I would get nervous about being around him. And they're like, Dorian, you're not over it yet? I was like, I don't think I'll ever be over it. Because he would come around, and I'm like, still starstruck after months of seeing. Like, it's so crazy. But, you know, that's the journey. You know, God took me from a really dark place to a place to where I got the opportunity by being secluded and not by being away from my family. I didn't have to be a mom. I didn't have to be a wife. I didn't have to worry about the day-to-day here at home. And I needed time to grieve, which I hadn't done. And I needed time to just be able to concentrate on one thing, and that was me. You know, at the end of the day, I needed some time and some space to concentrate on me. Because honestly, if it wasn't for God opening up the door with Masterchef, I don't feel like I would be here, because it was that bad. And it's okay for me to say that. It's okay for us to let that out, because people need to see where you came from and need to see where you are. Even if I'm not where I want to be, I'm not all the way there yet, but I can see that God is moving and doing his thing. Now, what my problem is now is keeping my hands out of it and not trying to force things, not trying to force people's hands at, you know, giving me opportunity, doing the work, letting God whisper and tell me and my husband what he wants us to do, and just doing that. And then let him do the rest, because he's doing it. You know, speed is one thing, but, you know, God is doing his thing. So, you know, that's my start and how I got on the show. And, you know, we've been very blessed. I'm not where I was at all. You know, I always say, when I meet people, I would have never been able to meet you had it not been for the show. You would have never known, right?
Come on.
So when I meet fans and when I get opportunities, I always thank God, because my fans, they smitten to see me, and I'm just as smitten to see them. Like, you know, thank you for wanting to follow my journey, because without you, I sure can't be who I am. You know, it goes hand in hand. So that's my take on the whole MasterChef. I have no negativity, no negative things to say about the show. I get that all the time.
Oh
It
yeah.
just re-aired, and we were over in Japan. You know, I had an event over in Japan, and we were over in Japan, and you know, the enemy tried to come in and throw cold water on what I was doing in Japan because of what people were seeing on TV. You know, why isn't that you? Why aren't you back on the show? Why aren't you? Because that's not where God wanted me to be. He wanted me to be in Japan. Like that's first of all, I'm in Japan. Like that's the first thing. Like
I'm telling you. Come on now. I would love to go to Japan. Yeah.
I'm over in Japan. I can't be upset about what somebody else's blessing is. I'm in the midst of my blessing right now.
Amen.
I'm not going to discredit what I'm doing being a headliner over in Japan. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. But the enemy will try to do that. He'll try to.
I'm telling you. And people got to know that what you said is real. Stay, and I was just talking to my daughter about it, walk in your element, in your vortex, the element God has you, and focus on that.
Yeah.
And be blessed in it, grateful in it, and all of those things. I do want to say this. I knew your story was going to be inspirational. Just how God carried you through that competition. And I was in and out. I didn't catch every episode, but I was keeping up. I knew your story was going to be inspirational. I had never heard it, and I didn't kind of know the intricacy of it like that, but I knew it was, and that is an inspirational story. And the thing about it is, what you did was like warrior type stuff. Some people, you say that mustard seed, sometimes there are people that, they're lost souls that could even conjure that up. That's the difference between a warrior and God's favor. And some souls that don't make it, but it takes everything in you, because when you feel like it's done, that's what you feel like, it's done.
Yeah.
And you carry it on. And something else, and I know you know it, but you have a spouse. God bless you with a good, it seems like good, supportive husband.
Yeah.
He was the one that was texting back and forth with my daughter to set this up. But the way you said he inspired you in your journey with the competition and powered you on, most people, a lot of women don't have that. So I just want to big up your husband. He is a daggone good partner. It's crazy how he supported you.
He is. I always tell people I can't be who I am without him.
Yeah.
There's no way. I wouldn't be able to maintain it without him. And I have a beautiful, very protective village around me. Right?
Yes.
Like he is at the head of that. He will tell somebody in a heartbeat. It took him, he's kind of shy, and it took him some time to get comfortable with being that, but with being in the front and blast it into this TV thing and being that type of a protector. But I can tell you now, some days I gotta pull him back, like, man, we can't go rogue on nobody. We gotta be, mindful and just let some things slide. But he is very much a protector. He's very supportive. I couldn't have wrote my cookbook without him. I couldn't do all this traveling and all the events that we do. He's the best dishwasher ever.
Come on, you need those as cooks. They are A1 on the team, okay?
Yes, they eat the best, honey. They eat the best. So I don't discredit him for anything. I always tell him, without you, I know for a fact that I wouldn't be able to be who I am. Not at all. So it's a shared win without a doubt.
Absolutely. God bless him. Big ups to your chef Dorian's husband. And also, you can't toot your horn about being a good baker, because guess what? I can't bake. Man, baking it's tough business. You got to really have a gift to bake. So toot your horn for this, because I'm still trying to perfect baking now. So let me see. The next question, I have wrote down some things. Let me see here. Can you speak on, because you won and hit the height of this September 2019, correct? Okay. How did you pivot, let me see, to build off of that success right in the midst of COVID? So when you hit and you won, COVID really, the world shut down. I think it was like 2020 into 2019. How did you build off that? Because that would have messed up your whole run. Yeah. So what kept you going and kept you, relevant and all those things?
So what we did was, I was actually at an event that was supposed to be a week, at least a weekend long. And we were there on a Friday, and Friday afternoon, the event people started to cancel. The headliners started to cancel because this thing was happening and they were scared. And we didn't know at first. I did my Friday, and by the time I was flying from I believe California to Arizona, by the time I got to Arizona, everything was starting to shut down. And that was like right in the midst of me doing my appearances and getting hyped about the show and blah, blah, blah. So me and my husband was like, you have got to be joking me. Like, what do we do? Like, we just got it. Now it's gone. Like, it's that quick, no. So what we did is we start doing Zoom classes, and that's how I did everything through Zoom. My interviews, I did events, everybody was doing everything virtual. So as much as I possibly could, I did that. It wasn't the same because I'm a very, I'm Chef, I always say Chef Dorian is very intimate. I want to be in the presence of people so that I can feel your vibe. And one of the things that I've always wanted to do is teach an in-person class. So Zoom, I was able to build a community doing that because these people still talk to this day and they still get together. But I still haven't had that opportunity to really be in front of somebody and actually teach a class because it all got shut down in 2020. But the caveat to that is because of COVID, they had to re-air the show again.
Oh, look at what are you doing? You know that.
Right. So I got a double dose. They showed my two years in a row. So with that, now things are starting to open up again. And now, so sometimes the delay does not mean denied. You know what I mean? It does not.
I've been told by China, I said delay, but not denied.
Right. So we went on ahead and we rolled that out, and we still riding. We stay on social media, not for money. I don't do social media for money. I do social media so that people I use it as my ways of advertising my talent for people to get in touch with me. My husband say if for my followers, he said you would give more if I let you to your followers than they would ever give you. And I can't see everybody, right? Like I'm never gonna be able to meet everybody, but I love to send people things that make it tangible so that you can have a small piece of me, even if that means that I take the stars from Facebook. Y'all give them to me. Okay, we buying lunch for like 3 or 4 people with all these stars. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you give them something. I can't cook for you, but I can buy you lunch. Because our community is putting into this pot, and now I can give back to you and let you have a little piece of me. So that's what we've done to kind of keep me relevant and to kind of keep me out there. People, people have their, they watch the show and they think you're one way. They'll take a small segment and make you into this horrible person. But if they really get to know you, they'll see that, I can be everything you calling me. I can. Every day of the week and twice on Sunday if I have to be. But on my regular, on my days and I gotta be pushed to that. You know what I mean? I gotta be really pushed to that. But for me, I think that it is very important when you are silent and you are not letting the noise outside get to you, and you just go ahead and do what you want to do, and you move like you need to move. People who really want to follow you and really are wanting to see your journey, they will definitely stick by you. And not only that, but when you start to build this up, your show and whatever, and you start to get clapped back, don't say nothing. You got almost 8,000 people. Let them 8,000 people defend you. You don't have to say nothing. You don't have to say a word. They'll defend you because they know you. They've watched you. They are committed to you. They trust you. And that's who I let argue it out. They will switch between social media platforms and be like, oh, no, you ain't talking this about Chef Dorian, like blah, blah, blah. And I sometimes have to quiet them down. It's okay. I'll say what they want to. They're not going to change me. you know,
Yeah.
this is who I am. So, you know, that's what we did. We just started doing Zoom classes. When the second roll around came, we went on ahead and tried to push out and tried to get into as much things as we possibly could. We just worked with it. There was very little we could do. You know,
Yeah.
we couldn't really fight it.
But that was very innovative. That's how you stay, because I know Zoom was taking over around
Yeah.
that time. I was doing everything, or we were
Yeah.
doing it virtual. So that was very innovative, Chef Dorian. Um, and I want to, since you said it, I'm just going to build off this. You said Chef Dorian is an intimate person. So congratulations on your book. Now, girl, you got to tell us what inspired the title, Not Your Average Style. Is it Not Your Average Style, Southern Side Chick? Now, I get it because I'm a cook, so I thought that was an amazing play on words and all of that. What can you tell us about the book without people that haven't read it yet? What is something you can tell us about the book? What inspired the book and that title? Because I love that. It's modern. I know it's everything.
Right. So what inspired the book is earlier on in my journey, someone told me that I wasn't marketable. That, you know, society's not really ready for, you know, somebody, you know, it's all about marketing, Dorian. That's why the opportunities aren't coming your way or whatever. So I was
What?
like, dang, that's messed up. Like,
Dang. Okay, what about Aunt Jemima in the
I mean, that
kitchen
might be
looking like
right,
a
but what
grandma?
about Paula Dean, who was 40 when she got started
Come
and didn't look
on.
and looked like she was every bit of 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. Like what about those people? So what I met this photographer and I told him what had been told to me, and God really sent him to us. He said, Chef Dorian, it's funny that me and you connected because God told me to give you a photo shoot. And I said, okay.
And you look sexy, girl. I don't mean to interrupt
He
you.
said,
I was like, who is this Chef Dorian? She just got the leg caught to the
right.
side. Girl, you look so sexy on that thing. Go ahead.
He said, God told me to give you a photo shoot. And I said, fine.
Mhm.
So when we first started, he had a stylist reach out to me and she gave me some samples of some clothes and they had these big flowers on them and they were all like, you know, and I get it.
Grandma
I get
stuff?
it.
Was it
Grandma,
grandma stuff?
they just weren't me.
Oh, okay.
they
Gotcha.
were they were beautiful clothes, but I'm like, I they're going off of the show.
Okay.
That's not really who I am. Like
Oh,
it's the show, the editing, and how they try to portray you. So I was
gotcha.
like, I told him, I said, I like what she has, but it's just not me. He said, fine, bring me everything in your closet. He said, just bring everything in your closet. So we went to Savannah and we did this photo shoot. And right before we were about to finish, I said, hey, I have another outfit. And I said, do you mind us trying this other outfit? And he was like, okay, chef. And I'm like,
Okay.
we did all the colors. We did all the, you know, bright, fruity colors that they say I look so good in. And I said, but I
Yeah.
got another one. And he goes,
Mm.
okay. So I go in and I change and I come out. He was like, chef, I don't know about what the church gonna say now. I don't know about this. I
Right.
don't know.
The
I don't know.
church.
And I said, trust me. I said, if nothing else, this is going to be the best photo you have ever taken. I said,
Come
I
on.
trust you. I wouldn't come out here like this if I did not trust you. Now, I just need for you to do your thing, do what you normally do. And I'm telling you, this picture is going to draw
Rock.
attention somehow,
Rock.
some way. And he
Yes.
took the picture, and when it was almost like he took it and was like, "Oh my God," he was he was so taken back by it. And I said, "Dude, we got to find a place to use this photo." And he said, "Dorian, I don't know where you're gonna use that at, but I can tell you wherever you use it, they gonna talk about it." And at that time, my brother was just getting a church. He's a minister. And so
Okay.
my thing for me is always never doing anything to embarrass or to draw, you know, negativity on my family, especially my siblings and I were brought up in a church family. Like my parents were ministers. My mom was a mother of a church. So I always converse with them before I do anything that I
Okay.
feel is going to cause a negative attention. So I sent him the picture, and he was like, Dorian, I said, Eric, I'm fully clothed. I'm only showing shoulder. I said, and it's really a picture of strength. It's not, if you look at it any other kind of way, then that's on you. Because for me, I needed to make a statement that I am not just this old lady bun wearing. If I want to, I can. Like, if I want to, I can. And we should all feel that way. Our sexuality, look, I got 3 kids. I am not pure.
Come on now. And you sold yourself, Dora. You sold them, girl.
Right?
You did it on that.
So it's not that. But the reason why we did the book is really a story of my journey up until Masterchef and all the expectations that I had after winning Masterchef that did not come to fruition. And people were asking me, so how do you feel about them not doing this? Or how do you feel about them not doing that? And I was even in my feelings in the beginning, but then I had to step back and like, Dorian, like I said, you're implanting yourself in a story that is not yours to tell. This is not yours. You did not put yourself here. God did that. So you have to let him tell the story and put you where you need to be, because until you die, the story is not over. So you have to really watch where you feel like, we always have wants and desires, and I believe God will give you the desires of your heart. He said so. But we also have to understand that sometimes our desires don't fit into the plan. So we have to wait. And that writing the book, from my humble beginnings all the way into, me having kids and how that looked, all the way into, me trying to figure out my, how do I, as a PK kid, my sexuality, and how do I display this? How do I find a husband? How do I, I talk about all that in a cookbook, nevertheless. Like,
great. Yeah.
That's how, and then my journey in Masterchef. So I wanted it to be different, and we killed it on the cover. And the cover is just an attention getter for you to want to see what's inside of it. Now, there's other pictures throughout it. There's some that are more risque than this one. There's nothing perverted, but it's inspiration. Don't ever allow somebody to feed you what you can and what you cannot be. Because there's one photo, I'll show you. Want me to show you?
Yes, please. Whatever you're going to give us, Dorian.
This is the cover.
And y'all got to go pop her book. This is called Not Your Average Southern Side Chick. Y'all go pop Chef Dorian's book. Look at the photos. She kills it.
The photos are amazing. All of the food photos in the book, I took them. Those are mine.
Yes. Yes. And you got the side chick recipes in there, correct?
Yes, all of the pictures in here. My husband took them, and my photographer, his name is Aubrey Bryant out of Savannah, Georgia.
Shout out.
Yeah, this is the one side of the central side of me, and that's what it's talking about. And then this is the picture.
Oh my God, that is beautiful though.
It's a beautiful picture.
Like you said, powerful,
right?
Statement, feminine. That is amazing. Right. I love that.
We were talking about this picture, and my husband put all the photos in the book. He picked all the pictures. So people were asking me, what your husband feel about this? He put them in the book. He's comfortable enough, and he knows me well enough to where, he knows the story. So in order for him to be able to put the pictures in the book and feel comfortable with his wife, being this way, and look, it's nothing crazy, nothing more than what you normally see. And just being able to tell my story my way, I would hope that it's inspirational. Throughout the book, we left pages blank so that people can write their own little journal and make their own little journaling throughout the book. As you read my story, let it reflect on your own life. And we left space for you to kind of finish the book out. I wanted my followers to be a part of it. You know,
Yes.
don't just
Even
get
when
it and
sauce
not
really
write in it.
possible.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Wow.
And
That's
me and my mom are on the back of it. That's my mom.
oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I love that.
Yeah. So,
Oh,
you
to
know,
your mom.
we
Yes.
worked really hard on it. We're self-published.
Yes.
My story, just getting to
You
know
did the dang on thing with that book. I'm gonna tell you now. You did the day when that popped up on your website. I was like,
Do
oh
you
my
have
gosh,
a
this is
copy?
good. You got to pop. No, I don't. I don't have a copy, but we will support. We
I'm gonna
will be
send you a
getting a copy.
copy. I'm gonna send
Oh
you a
my
copy.
God! Thank you so.
I'll send you
Oh,
an
thank
autographed
you
copy.
so much.
Yeah, I'll send
That
you.
book is yes. Thank you. I really that book is everything.
No
So I'm
problem.
gonna be pushing your book for sure.
Thank you.
I love that. And thank you so much, Chef Dorian. Let me see, because I don't want to hold you all night. Let me see to get through some of these questions. Inspire with you. Okay. Okay. So yes, this is where I get kind of real with you. I just want to get your advice on this before we end this interview. You know that in this country and probably all over the world, Chef Dorian, we're going through like depression, Great Depression. Okay. I had read this book back in the day that somebody wrote called Meals That Mothers Made During the Great Depression, all right, to feed their families and stuff. But I feel like the way Americans are, and everybody has the same story, I think we're back in somewhat of a struggle. Can you give the followers and viewers, women that have big families or men that have big families, what are some good dishes to make at home for good cheap prices that can feed 5 to 10 people
Right.
for a family in this depression era? Something that price, within good price range, but can feed a lot of people. Can you give us some ideas of dishes?
Right. So my number one go-to when I want dinner to last for long periods of time, because right now I have a small family. There's only 3 of us here. There's only
Okay.
3 of us here. But from what my mom used to do, chili like you made, you can make large vats of stews or soups. And
Yes.
there is no rules when it comes to stews and soups. Like
Come on.
whatever you have in your pantry. Let me tell you, me and my son, I was raising my oldest son. We did not, when I tell you I was living paycheck to paycheck, I was literally living paycheck to paycheck. Did not have
Okay.
like no extras, no McDonald's, none of that. We really bare necessities. And so one paycheck, I had just enough money left over to make chicken and dumplings,
Okay.
right? And chicken and dumplings to me is one of those dishes that will fill you up, but you seem to always have leftover. Like you always make more than enough. And it only needs the essentials: water, chicken, flour, and pretty much that's it. If you got self-rising flour, you one up. If you got baking soda, baking powder, you doing good. If you got those, but if you can make a good meal out of just having chicken and dumplings. Well, me and my son, we ran out of chicken in our chicken and dumplings.
Okay.
Didn't have any more chicken. I added California mix to that broth, and now I have a creamy vegetable soup. So you have to really think out of the box. Spaghetti, any type of pasta dish, spaghetti, lasagna done in moderation. Now, when I make lasagna, we do it smaller now, but I used to make sheet tray lasagna. So on a full sheet tray, that way everybody can have their own little toppings on it, and it's all personalized. That can last you at least 2 to 3 meals, depending on the size of your family. I think that, vegetables is something that we always overlook, but that's where you're going to get the best stretch from. Always have the essentials: flour, milk, butter, eggs. If you have those things in your pantry, we always have a ton of spices, right? So if you have those things in your pantry, you can make almost anything. Absolutely anything. So soups, stews, spaghettis, pastas, all of that. Even macaroni and cheese. You can make stovetop macaroni and cheese. You got a little ham or bacon left over from breakfast or whatever, that's chop that up, throw that in there. That's a meal. It's a meal. It may not be with
like your rice and beans you made.
Yeah.
That can spread too.
Our grandparents always had a pot of beans on the back of the stove.
Yes.
after the big meal, because if you got hungry again, that's what you go to.
That's what you sure did. Because I grew up with my great grandma.
It's those things, yeah. My family come down in the kitchen all the time. There's nothing here to eat. There ain't nothing here, and I can come down here and make a whole meal.
Come on. I'm trying to tell us these modern kids. I'm like, you see all these ingredients? What?
Kitchen is full.
So they don't see DoorDash, it's like it ain't nothing. Like,
there's all kinds of meals here. What are you talking about? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm gonna play this game with you before I let you go. I'm so excited that you came. I really feel like God is about to. I got goosebumps over it because I just know you're about to be put back into position, into the limelight, and I just thank you for this interview. I can't thank you enough. So I'm gonna play a little game with you before we go. This is called This or That. It's just something fun, kind of like before you go. So, and you just choose which one you like. Cocktails or mocktails?
Oh, cocktail.
Cocktail?
Cocktail.
Oh, really? You like cocktail?
I like
Okay.
cocktail, but I'm not a big drinker, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Soul food or international cuisine?
Ooh.
Like, maybe like French cuisine or Caribbean cuisine, or would you always choose soul food?
No, international.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Sushi or fried fish?
Oh, fried fish.
Okay. I like sushi. I've been on a sushi kick lately. So.
Too, but I ain't gonna take it over a good piece of hard fried fish.
Oh, okay. That's right. Okay. Smothered pork chops or T-bone steak?
That's hard.
That's hard, right?
I'm gonna have to say T-bone steak.
Okay. Gotcha. Butter or olive oil?
Ooh.
In your dishes?
In my dishes?
Yes.
Olive oil. Olive oil. I cook with olive oil.
Because that butter clogs the arteries. So yeah, see, you're a good cook.
I love butter.
I do too. But do you think that killed our ancestors, all that butter and lard and stuff?
I cook with olive oil.
Yes. Good. All right. And Jada Nicole just walked in. She said, "Hey, thank you for doing this, my daughter again." Okay, so when it comes to a modern working woman, Chef Dorian, choose which one you think these women should do, in your opinion.
Okay.
Do you think they should still cook for their families all day, the meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or do you think they should order out if you're a modern day working woman?
That's hard. I would say cook. Only because you can get more out of your buck. There's no point in making a lot of money if you can't save or spend it. You're spending it all on food. Eating out is way too expensive. It is.
Yes.
And I think that prepping is the hardest thing for people to do. And they think that coming into the kitchen is like an all-day thing, and it doesn't have to be. I don't think anybody should be cooking longer than 30 minutes, 45 minutes in any kitchen. So you can whip out something very fast, without being in the kitchen all day. I will always go to make homemade, cook.
Amen.
Yeah.
And that's why I started these crock pot chronicle little videos that show women put that stuff in the crock pot when you get home from work or whatever you do. Your family got a meal. Yep. Okay. Okay. And okay. This last question: if you were left on a deserted island, what 5 ingredients or tools would you want, or would you request to last you for 2 months if that's all you could request? What would they be?
I'm taking a cast iron skillet.
Okay.
Salt and pepper.
Okay.
You can count that as one because they go hand in hand. Salt and pepper, cast iron skillet. Unfortunately, I would have to take some sort of preserved fat so that I can cook. And my last thing I would take.
That's 3. You said salt and pepper, cast iron skillet, preserved fat. That's 3.
Yeah, and
so
then
you got 2 more.
I would take what else would I take? I think I would take maybe I would take bowls and I don't know, some cayenne pepper or some sort of spicy something, only because I love it so much. I would eat off the land. That's where I
Okay.
would get my fruits, vegetables, whatever.
Okay.
Buying food
Would you
there,
kill
but I wouldn't
animals?
care about it.
Would you have to kill an animal for your meat?
Oh, I would
I was thinking
definitely.
of fishing rod.
I will eat. I will do whatever it takes to survive.
Okay. Gotcha.
I don't have food phobia, so I will eat
Okay.
or try anything.
Gotcha. So what do you think about fishing rod? Because you're a deserted island, you can always fish it and make
Right.
some fish.
So I can make the fit. Look, I am a naked or afraid type of a connoisseur.
Okay.
So I can get a stick and some bamboo and make a fishing rod.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, you're right. Oh yep, you so can. You know what? Yeah, they should do that with y'all. Put all the old cast winners and put y'all on deserted island and for a couple months with just what y'all gotta use and show that cuisine that y'all make. That would be amazing.
That is a good show. That would be good.
That would be amazing. Well,
It would
Chef
probably
Dorian,
be a disaster, but it would be good.
yeah, no, it'll be good because y'all gonna come up with some stuff. Y'all have it in y'all. Y'all gonna come up with some stuff. People gonna be like, man, they making better looking food than we got at home. Because if the prisoners can do it, Chef Dorian, have you seen prison chefs? Like they have this YouTube stuff where they show these chefs in prison. Oh my goodness,
It's crazy what they making in them little rooms.
crazy.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just want to thank you for coming. I don't want to hold you all day. I know you're busy. Like I said, again, I'm gonna say thank you so much, Chef Dorian. Thank you for coming. Please, guys, go check out her book, Chef Dorian Hunter. Is it chefdorianhunter.com?
ChefDorian.com. Yep.
Yes. Let's tell everybody where to stay in touch with you, Chef Dorian. I'll let you tell
They
everyone.
can contact me on all of my social media, Chef Dorian Hunter on Instagram, and Chef Dorian on Instagram, Chef Dorian Hunter on Facebook. And of course, you can go to the website and go to chefdorian.com where you can purchase the book, and you can also keep up with me on things that I'm doing, and you can also book through chefdorian.com.
Yes. Do you have any new things coming up where people can stay in touch? Anything new coming up?
Yeah, I'll be in North Carolina in September, and we are rolling out some stuff right now. If you are a member, a subscriber to chefdorian.com, you could possibly be picked to be a taste tester for some new things that we have coming out, but you have to be a subscriber. Yeah, we got some really big things coming out. We're super, super excited about it. But again, I bring it back to my people who follow me. I want them to be a part of it. So I'm asking their advice on, some things that I have coming.
Absolutely. You got to get it from the people.
Yep.
What part of North Carolina will you be in? Because I am in North Carolina. I would definitely love to come out.
I'll be in Raleigh.
Oh, well, I'm right there.
Really? Oh, yeah. When I get there, we got to set it up.
Please.
I'll be there for quite a while, actually.
It will be amazing for me and my daughter to come out. I would love to be a test taster. And I don't know if I have to go through the same realms and go through the subscriber same way, but we'll talk about it.
When we come here, we definitely got to hook up. I would love to.
Yeah. Absolutely. Would love to do it. And I got to taste some of your food. I got to bless myself that way. Okay. But yes, Chef Dorian, thank you so much. Angel Wing Sauce family, thanks you. We honor you here. We'll be keeping in touch with you and following your journey. God bless you, Chef Dorian. Thank you so much. And is anything else you'd like to say before you end the interview?
Just thank you so much for the love and support. Thank you for reaching out. Again, sorry for the longness of getting on here, but I really and truly appreciate it. And if there's ever anything I can do to help you and your show, or you can even come on mine and promote yourself. And I done already tasted the sauce, so you got the stamp of approval for me. Not that you needed it, but it's really, really good. So I really do appreciate you having me over here, and keep up the good work. I believe that you gonna grow. When I tasted it, I was like, this is it. This ain't no joke. And the packaging, and you already got your little ingredient. I love it. You further than some. Don't discredit where you are, because you are much further than some people. And I just believe that God is gonna bless you to get more people onto your show to promote your business. And they'll, I'm gonna do a reel on it.
Thank you so much.
Wings and see what it did.
Try it on the wing, Chef Dorian. That's what I was going to say. I originally made it for that, so please try it on some hot wings. That's where you're going to really get your full
Will
taste.
do.
And you know, we're in the 10 stores right now, so God is blessing and He's moving. And I have goals to be in more and hopefully to sell internationally one day, Chef Dorian. So we're pushing.
It can happen.
Yeah.
All you already
Yeah.
spoke it, so it's already done.
Amen. And thank you for your support. And we're going to be in touch, okay? I'm not going to be working, but we're going to be in touch. We're going to keep in touch because I want to meet up with you when you come around. And thank you so much, All
right, no problem.
And you have a great night. Love you here, Angel Wing Sauce.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. Yes, Angel Wing Sauce family. So tonight, let me just come up a little bit here so I can end the show off, guys. Thank you guys that came and stopped by. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for supporting the show. This is, I want to say maybe my 4th or 5th episode. So I definitely want to keep these going. Normally on these shows, I cook. So you'll come with me for about an hour and just watch me around the kitchen. I'll make a meal and hopefully teach some women or kids or men, children, whoever, give some pointers and teach them my recipes. So I really appreciate you guys that watched tonight. Thank you again to Chef Dorian, guys. Please go over and support her. First Black woman to win Masterchef. So you know she's a beast in that kitchen. Yes, and I'll post the video of how I made the chili tonight, guys. Thank you so much. See you guys again soon. If you want to get some angel wing sauce, please go over to angelwingsauce.com. We also have our candles for your home, and we have the new grill gift boxes, and that comes with a candle, 1 jar of Blood of Jesus rib sauce, and 1 jar of angel wing sauce. Yes, so thank you guys so much. See you guys next time. Have a great night.